How's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again with another view from the van. I hope everybody is okay and enjoyed last night's football offerings. So we had two games. Obviously England women, fantastic to get the victory, blew Sweden away, and are now in the final this Sunday. Unbelievable achievement. But also as well, Newcastle travelled to Portugal, and after the convincing victory over Burnley in that sort of behind closed doors practice game, whatever you want to call it, we went to the other Stadium of Light, not the one down the A19 that stinks of cheesy chips. It's the other one in Benfica in Portugal. And Newcastle lost the game 3-2, but that doesn't tell you everything about the game last night. It was very intense. Certainly an intense game of football. Newcastle back to the ways of old, back to the old sort of Kevin Keegan days, the 3-2s and everything. And we're looking good. We were looking good, passing well, created chances, opportunities. So yeah, really, I'm quite delighted with how it went on the whole. Probably apart from the referee, he was one of the major issues last night. He seemed determined to be able to get Benfica to win this game, and I know it's a game with the Eusebio Cup that's important to Benfica, but fuck me, he might as well have been wearing a Benfica shirt. And he's probably the worst referee that I've seen since that whole fucking fiasco with the penalty and then giving it the other way when we were back in the Championship, and those days. But yeah, Newcastle, we lost the game, but definitely positives to take out from last night. The first goal, though, we'll start with a little bit of a negative, and it's another, for me, sort of blip from Jamal Lascelles. Unfortunately, we conceded off a set piece, off a corner, and Jamal Lascelles not dealing with the header. Nick Pope having to come out and try and get the ball. They take the lead. Disappointing with Jamal Lascelles. Obviously, he's been confirmed he'll be club captain, so he will be staying going into next season. And I understand. I think Leicester did it where their club captain probably wasn't involved as much as what he has been previously. And when you've got the club captain on the bench, it's a case of assessing it on a match by match and a day by day basis. So I don't think, honestly, Jamal Lascelles is doing himself a great deal of favours this pre-season for the 45 that he played on there. He just doesn't look the Jamal Lascelles of old, and I do think he's probably dropping back to a squad play now. I thought Sven Botman was absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see him in Premier League action. But surely to God, Fabian Schär or Dan Burn, probably most likely to be Schär, isn't it, to start off with, will be the centre-back partner of Sven Botman when the action gets round to being real in under a fortnight's time now. So yeah, looking forward to that. But definitely the first goal to me down to Jamal Lascelles, unfortunately. But still positives for Newcastle. Look, 4 goals into the first half, exciting, gripping game really for a friendly, and frustrating in some ways again with that fucking referee. He was giving everything to fucking Benfica. He didn't even know the rule book. He was that bad. He was just literally like he was making it up as he went along, and that pissed me off in slight patches and stuff. But what didn't piss me off was, again, another 2 goals from Miguel Almiron. And I have stuck up for this lad through thick, through thin, through criticisms, because I always felt, given a run in the team, playing more in the position that he's more happy and accustomed to, that he could do the business. And I think that he is benefiting massively from a full Eddie Howe pre-season, tactical masterclass. He came in at the end of last season, to be honest, and played really well, to the levels that we know that he can do. He's gone away internationally as well over the summer and done well and scored. And yeah, it probably isn't going to sit very well with the likes of your fucking Jack Grealishes of the world, the fucking dodgy fucking haircut. I know, fine one to speak like, but yeah, Miggy's been doing fantastically well. That's 6 goals now and 3 assists. If he can continue that form on into the league campaign, it's going to take the pressure certainly off with regards to finding a player who can play out on the right hand side, and maybe Eddie Howe is reassessing things with regards to midfielders and strikers now, and maybe sort of thinking, what can I do with this budget moving forward? So yeah, definitely food for thought from Miggy. He's been a man fucking possessed over this pre-season, and that's with the greatest of respect to some of the opposition that we've played. But look, the goal last night, especially the one, Trippier again with 2 more assists, fantastic. Kieran Trippier, talking about the captain, there's your captain really, isn't it, on the pitch, with an assist. Beautiful goal by Miggy. He sort of bends it round the keeper, he uses the defender to sort of hide and shield the ball, and yeah, beautiful bend on it, finds the back of the net. That was brilliant. Their other goal in the first half was from a free kick. You couldn't do anything about that, apart from not giving away the fucking free kick, like, obviously. But with their referee and, you know, everything, their referee, notice how I said that, and that wasn't even planned. That wasn't even fucking planned, it was just one of them things. But yeah, fantastic free kick. And definitely a quality setup, a quality team that we were playing against last night, and that's why, you know, I take a lot of confidence out of what happened. Performance-wise for Newcastle, I felt we were good, we were energetic, the passing looked good, it looked crisp. Callum Wilson was causing lots of trouble further up the field. At half-time I was a little bit disappointed with the amount of changes I felt it was going to weaken us, but to be honest, we weren't bad at all. Again, we were knocking the ball around, doing good stuff. The only thing I felt was we were a little bit toothless up in the final third. Chris Wood missed a chance from a couple of yards out, and he looks devoid of confidence, doesn't he? So I think one of the real things that needs to happen is to get this lad back confident and firing and feeling the love and all that sort of thing, because it could well be that we go into the season against Nottingham Forest with just Chris Wood and Callum Wilson, and we know Callum Wilson is a fantastic player, but he's also really injury prone, so it's very, very important to me apologies, that we sign somebody else up top. But you know, as the days tick by, something less and less likely that they'll be involved in that Nottingham Forest game. So yeah, disappointing from Wood in the second half, but I thought there were lots and lots and lots of positives. I really did. I think Bruno was missing his mate Joe Linton in midfield, I will say that. I thought Elliot Anderson, given a start in this game, which was fantastic to see, to be honest, really putting a faith in youth and giving youth an opportunity. I thought it wasn't his best game, I thought he did okay. Same with the likes of Sean Longstaff, to be honest. An alright game. And a big decision has to be called, obviously, on Elliot Anderson, whether we loan him out or whether we have him involved in and around the first team. Let me know what you think down below about Elliot Anderson. I'm really keen to get people's viewpoints on that, because I feel really split. But I want him to get game time, and if he isn't going to get that at Newcastle this season, then it's really important that he goes out on loan to a good team, a good club, so that eliminates Steve Bastard Bruce straight away. But yeah, we, like I touched on before, we made lots of changes at half time. Carl Darlow came in as well in goal. No Martin Dubravka, who had a sprained wrist. No Paul Dummett, slight injury there. Again, another player who's injury prone. But that sort of probably opened up a little bit of an opportunity for Bunswell. And I put a question up on Twitter today, you know, asking, you know, again, with Jamal Lewis not taking his opportunity to get some game time over pre-season as he's injured again, has he done himself any harm? I thought he looked really good, really confident, got up and down well, tackling was fine, your crossing's fine. Could he be a surprise package? Could he get some good minutes, you know, over the course of this season? Could it be the cover from, you know, Matt Target there at left back? Let me know again what you think. Have you seen him in action week in, week out? Interested to hear about from people who've seen more of him than maybe what the majority of us have seen of him in action. But I thought he looked really, really good, to be honest. And again, we were talking before the pre-season started about the fact it was Jamal Lewis's opportunity to get in, impress, do well, and he's just been nowhere to be seen. And speaking about injuries as well, news broke yesterday, Kel Watts got injured whilst he was away in Austria. He had an operation yesterday, so best of luck to Kel Watts on his recovery. I hope everything goes to plan and he's back in action just as soon as possible. Yeah, but again, second half, referee really frustrating the fuck out of everybody, and just like I said before, not really seem to know the rules, and you know, Benfica were jumping in, making some very, shall we say, robust challenges for a pre-season friendly, and you could see the boiling, you know, the boiling pot of water sort of starting to spill over from a Newcastle perspective. Some of the players, Bruno he got pissed off, and then obviously Joe Linton, who come on in the second half, was also getting really annoyed at some of the idiotic, stupid decisions that were being made, you know, by this referee. And you just felt, look, if there's a red card potentially in waiting here, because he was just losing control of the situation. And yeah, lo and behold, it happens, and it's a Newcastle United player getting sent off. You know, 2 yellow cards in quick succession. The second one arguably could have been a red on its own, but that comes out of the frustration, that comes out of the fact that the referee hasn't kept a control of the game. I think if he does his job better, then Joe Linton doesn't get sent off, and as a result of that, he'll miss the friendly on Friday. He'll be suspended for that game, back for the game on Saturday. So a little bit of better news on that front. But you know, we don't want players suspended for pre-season games. It's stupid, it's idiotic, and it comes off the back of a shambolic and a pathetic refereeing performance, you know, like what we saw last night. So yeah, Newcastle go down to 10 men. Yeah, Newcastle go down to 10 men, and of course Benfica, they snatch it right at the death, right at the dying minutes, and they take it 3-2. Cue all sorts of shit from the benches as well, coaches getting into it. And what's really pleasant to see about that, you know, you can't condone violence and stuff like that, but it's nice to see Newcastle so united, not just only in the terraces, in the stands amongst the fans and everything, but also to see it through the coaches and the players. There's a real unity, there's a real togetherness, and that shone through. And we're talking about positives. The result really doesn't matter with regards to that game last night. Look, we were playing a Champions League team, and you know, we can take so many positives out of it. And I suppose in a way we've got to get used to getting in this sort of mentality of shit referees, foreign travel and this sort of thing, because that is where the club is going with regards to European qualification and dealing with these sort of issues week in, week out. So it was a good practice in that stand. It was also an intense game of football, which is more like your Premier League standards, so that's going to be held us and put us in good stead for the Premier League games and the opener against Nottingham Forest. Like I say, disappointing how it ended. Also a little bit concerned about the Dubravka situation. Allegedly he's got a sprained wrist that kept him out. He was over there. I saw footage of him over there. Some people were putting 2 and 2 together about Leicester and saying maybe he's off to Leicester. I hope he isn't. I love Dubravka. I think he's a cracking keeper. Nick Pope, somewhat criticising him for maybe the first goal. To me, it's more a Jamal Lascelles problem. He made some other good saves, I thought, as well. Command of the box. Tries to come out and catch stuff and be proactive. But I don't want to lose Dubravka as well. Darlow getting some minutes last night, and I thought and I think and I still do believe that it'll be him who probably heads out on loan or a permanent transfer over the remainder of this window. But yeah, all in all, 3-2 against a Champions League team away, with the state of that fucking referee and the fact that he's probably never picked up the fucking referee's rule book before, or yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was wearing a Benfica shirt under that fucking referee shirt. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know as well about Bondswell, what you thought of him. Does this mean that this is pretty much the end, do you think, for Jamal Lewis? He's had no minutes over the course of this pre-season, and he was desperate. He needed to impress Eddie Howe to get back into the 25, and he's been nowhere to be seen. Fingers crossed, who knows, he might be involved in these last 2 friendlies, but is it too little too late? Even if he is, I can see him heading out on loan, I must admit. I think that's the decision that'll probably be made. Loan him out and have a look at him whilst he's out on loan and see what he's capable of doing, and if he's able to get back to fitness, because we can't have a player who's in the 25 who's just perennially always injured. We've got the 1 or 2 question marks over some of the other players. We can't afford for too many of the squad players to be injury prone, as it were. But yeah, let me know what you thought about the game last night. Like I say, I thought it was enjoyable but frustrating for a pre-season game. But yeah, if anyone was going to get sent off when he was sent on, then you sort of knew it was going to be Joe Linton, and he was put on there. He wanted to put himself a little bit about so that Bruno could go and do his thing, I suppose. But yeah, as long as he doesn't do it in league games where points are on the line and stuff like that, then yeah, it's like I say, it's for fitness, it's for form, it's for building relationships, it's for bedding in, settling in, and let's hope that with regards to settling in over the next course of certainly the next week, that we're able to do something on the transfer front. I think during that interview, I think Eddie Howe may have been sort of slightly suggesting it, but he pulled himself back. So it'll be good to see if anybody is brought in before the end of the week and is able to take part in these weekend games. Everybody that I've been speaking to about it is looking forward to these 2 games in 2 days. A return back to St James's Park, a return back to action at our home ground after spending what must have felt for the players like an eternity away from friends and family and kids and all that sort of thing. So good to get them back home, and it's all about the build-up now, isn't it, really, to the Nottingham Forest game. And I just hope that the work at the training ground isn't going to be too much of a hindrance with regards now to preparation for that game. That needs to be done, wound up, sorted, finished, sweep the sawdust away, so that's done. Yeah, so anyway, we roll on to Friday. Let me know if you're going to the game as well down below in the comments, and please do subscribe to Magpie 24/7. It's totally free, but it absolutely means the world. So appreciate the continued support, and in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, fuck off, you Benfica ref, and I'll speak to you later.